Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the fifth commandment. Let's turn over to Exodus 20, verse 12 to see what that is. Exodus 20, verse 12. Honor your father and mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. We are to honor our parents. Let's take a look at the word honor and see what it means. I looked it up on dictionary.com. I looked at the first three definitions for honor. They have a little example after each. First one, honesty, fairness, and integrity in one's belief and actions. They have a man of honor. Number two, source of credit or distinct, to be an honor to one's family. 3, high respect as for worth, merit, or rank, to be held in honor. These are nouns of honor, describing people who are honorable, or people who have obtained honor. We are to honor our parents. That is more of an action. Let us take a look at honor as a verb. The first one they have to hold in honor or high respect, revere. For that example, they have to honor one's parents. Well, that's what we're looking at today. For the second one, they had to treat with honor. We are to honor our parents and treat them with respect. We all have parents. Maybe they didn't raise us, maybe we were orphans, or maybe our aunts or uncles raised us. Going into all of that is a discussion all on its own. So I'll just focus on father and mother and refer to both just as parents. So we are to honor our parents. Most would say that makes sense. They raised us, cared for us, showed us right and wrong. Maybe they even brought us up on the right path. That's great. They should be honored. God blesses us for honoring our parents. He says that your days may be longer upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. So how do we do this? How do we honor our parents? Let's turn over to Ephesians 6, 1-3. Ephesians 6, 1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. This is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise that it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. We are to obey our parents. So if our parents ask us to do something like clean our room or do the dishes, should we be arguing with them or refuse to do it? No, we are to obey them. What else does the Bible tell us how else does the Bible tell us to honor our parents? Let's turn over to Proverbs 1, verse 8. Proverbs 1, verse 8. My son, hear the instructions of your father, and do not forsake the law of your mother. We are to listen to our parents. Our father instructs us in the way we should behave. We should show respect and behave ourselves. Our mother teaches us the law of God. We are not to forsake them. We show respect and honor by following the law. What are things we should not do? Let us turn to Luke 15, 11-13. Luke 15, verses 11 and 13. Then he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falls to me. So he divided to them his livelihood, and not many days after, the younger son gathered all together, journeyed to a far country, and there wasted his possessions with prodigal living. I think we all know the ending to that story. He returns home, he asks his father for forgiveness, but wasted his possessions with prodigal living. that is not honoring or respecting our parents. Let us turn over to Matthew 15, verse 4. Matthew 15, verse 4. For God commanded, saying, Honor your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. It's pretty clear we are not to curse our parents or speak ill of them. Doing so would not be honoring them. Now this is all well and good to honor parents if they brought us up right and have raised us in the way of the Lord, but what if they didn't? What if your parents were against you? Maybe they didn't support you or treat you well? What then? How do you honor ones without honor? How do you honor a parent who is more like an enemy? Let us turn over to Matthew 5, verses 43 to 48, and see what the Bible has to say about this. Matthew 5, verses 43 to 48. You have heard that it was said, You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, and do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who would spitefully use and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet your brother only, what do you do more than others? Do not even the tax collectors do so? Therefore, you should be perfect, just as your Father in heaven is perfect. It says here, we are not just to do good to those who love us. Tax collectors do the same. We are to show love to our enemies, do good to those who hate us, and pray for those who spitefully use us and persecute us, that we may be sons of our Father in heaven. So, if it seems like your parents are your enemy, you still need to love them, and if it's that bad, you should probably pray for them. Let's turn over to Proverbs 25, verse 21 and 22. Proverbs 25, verse 21 and 22. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For so you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. So even if our parents don't treat us well, we are still to show them kindness, and in doing so, we honor them. The Bible says there are some people we should keep away from. In Corinthians 5, verses 11, Corinthians 1, verses, 1 Corinthians 5, verse 11. 1 Corinthians 5, verse 11. But now I have written to you not to keep company with anyone named a brother who is sexually immoral and covetous, or an adulterer, or reviler, or drunkard, or an extortioner, not even to eat with such a person. If it gets to that point where your parents are immoral and ungodly, we should distance ourselves from them. Sometimes distancing ourselves from them can be a type of honor, not letting them sin against you anymore. And like the old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. If our parents are immoral and ungodly, we should not be running them down or talking ill about them to others. We should show them honor by not gossiping about them. So, we are to honor our father and our mother. We are to treat them with respect and not speak ill of them. Let us also not forget God our Father in heaven. For God we should honor over all. For our final verse, let us turn over to Matthew 5, verse 16. Matthew 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before man that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven.